Hello and welcome back to the Knitmancy podcast. I am your host Valentina and I'm coming at you from Virginia for once. Well, it's been a while since I came at you from Virginia. Got some stuff to talk about today as per usual. I've got knitting, I've got some sewing, it's all good stuff. I've got stash in. So we'll do our social medias and then hop right in. So social medias, you can find me on Ravelry and on a Tumblr blog as Knittermancer. And you can find me on Instagram as Middle of the Madness. All of this is always down below in case you need to know how to spell something. There's also a Ravelry group, although I neglect it because I'm a terrible person, and that's okay. It happens, whatever. And yeah, that's it. That's all the places you can find me. Got a ton of stuff. So we'll go sewing because there's one sewing thing and a bunch of knitting stuff. Sewing wise, I made probably not the best way to show these. A pair of jeans. Oh man. Yeah. It was a simplicity pattern. I don't know the number right off, but it will definitely be down below in the little description box. I'll go find it. They're made out of a black blocked denim. There you go. You can kind of see it. It's got kind of a florally pattern and it's wonderful. An actual jeans button. The zipper itself is a jeans zipper. There's the other side. Actual jeans zipper. We've got lined pockets and a blue floral. And I mean, this has all the things. It's got the little watch pocket that nobody uses for pocket watches. And butt pockets. The only thing I didn't put on was belt loops, but I don't use belt loops. That's okay, because it's fine. I have worn them. There are a couple of things I'd change about the fit, but no big deal. Right. Now we'll move on to our next thing, which is a big thing. Making sure I don't drop needles all over the place. This could fit me. Technically, it's a man sweater, but it could fit me. It's not mine. Actually, for Sean. It is the Whiskey Creek pullover. He didn't want sleeves, so we're just leaving the sleeves off. It's done, because I don't know if I'll actually go and finish the armholes, because I'm not that organized. So it is the Whiskey Creek pullover from my favorite magazine, by Amy Christoffers, and it is knit in Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Onyx Heather. And let's see, thoughts. It took me about a week, 2 weeks to knit. I was working on it around Christmas time. Sean visited for New Year's Eve, stayed. I actually seamed it up then, because the wonderful thing about this pattern is the collar is worked just with it. The front and the back of the top part, from like the armhole up, is knit flat. So with the front, you work the collar as well, and then you seam at the shoulders, 3 needle bind off on the shawl collar, which I thought was brilliant. I always think it's brilliant when all of the pieces are just put together, all together at once. I need to weave in the ends. I might finish off the arms. I've not completely decided. There's a cat playing with the lighter. We don't play with lighters, kitty. You can play with the bag. Isn't it 44.5-inch bust? It's one of the smaller sizes in the pattern. And as I said, it took me like a week or two, probably a week total, because there was a lot of time where I just didn't work on it. But yes, it's done. There's some ends that need to be woven in. I might tack the collar down in the back. And I might finish off the armholes, but we'll see. I'm not swearing on anything. He's getting it on 14th or 15th because of our anniversary. Anyway, moving on. Next up, I've got a pair of socks. Thrilling. These are a 68 stitch plain vanilla sock that were knit cuff down, garter stitch, German short row heel. I had to think of all of that. Regular kind of wedge toe, I think is what it is. See, yeah, thrilling, exciting, I know. Like I've never shown a vanilla sock before. The yarn is Knitted Wit Victory Sock in the Spring Rainbow colorway, and it kind of stripes. It does that spirally stripe thing, and they're nice and thick. So the stripes are actually like blue, green, yellow, as well as red, purple, orange. And I thought that was really neat because of how the yarn was dyed. Yeah. And it's got kind of like white speckles. So there's plenty of spots where I guess it just that the dye wasn't put there. So it ended up with white speckles instead of colored speckles, and that's really cool. A lot of the orange and yellow is kind of speckled-ish, sort of, kind of. You get what I mean. Next up, we're now moving on to our works in progress. That was all the FOs. Not very many. Whopping 2 of them. You can tell I've been knitting a lot, can't you? Next up are those plain vanilla socks in Happy Fuzzy Yarn Cory sock in the Lakeside colorway. Yes, that sounds about right. And I believe these are a 64-inch sock. They differ from these guys because these were knit on a different kind of needle. Not double points. Surprise, amazing. We will discuss that in Stash In. Yeah, I'm still working on these socks, guys. They'll get done. They'll get done soon-ish, within the next 2 weeks. Surely. They'll get done. Let me set those aside. Now for my last work in progress, which will also... There was a dog looking and it bugged me. Will also lead into Stash In is, I don't have to, I cast on for an exploration station in like the best colors, some of my favorite colors. So yes, I should talk about the yarns. They are being knit on needle required. I am going to knit it to pattern, and we have all of our colors in one place. So, as I said, this leads into Stash In because, first off, they are being held in a fiber space bag. Good old fiber space, one of my favorite shops to go to. Conveniently, as it's super far away when I'm in Virginia. It's a bit further away when I'm in West Virginia, a lot farther than I really want to go for yarn. Ugh. So I'll go through in the order that they're in. So color A, which is amazingly bright red yarn, is by Miss Babs. Yes, Miss Babs on the Hot Shot, which is, I guess, Hot Shot fingering, an 80/20 superwash merino nylon. in a little red. So yarn label, there we go. In little red, so bright. It looks a lot brighter on screen. It might not help that I'm wearing like dark colors instead of white. Kind of balance that out. Ugh. My color B, this guy. My cake is a mess. Please excuse that. This guy, which is by the Lemonade Shop. And it is Smudge on the Simple Sock, which is an 80/20 as well. Superwash merino nylon. Yes, so this is Smudge, which is white with primarily black speckles, but there are like little speckles of different colors, and I'm not going to try to hunt some down and like try to show you because they're so small that you would never be able to see them. Now onto yarn that's not attached. Then color C is this dark color by the Fibrous in their Hopper Fingering, which is 60% Ovis Aries Variation Merino, 20% Boss Grunins, 20% Bombix Mori in English this time, because they have to make it sciencey, right? 60% Merino, 20% Yak, 20% Silk in color number 21, 23, 22, which is very dark gray. I mean, for a fingering weight, to me, just glancing at it, it looked a little thinner than the rest of them. Back in there. And then my color D, which is my most exciting color in my opinion, the one I'm always excited for, is Neighborhood Fiber Company on the Studio Sock in Banksy. I did that without even having to look at the label. Neighborhood Fiber Company. Banksy. I like Banksy. This is my color D because I wanted it fairly frequently, or I wanted to use a lot of it in this shop. I just want to use a lot of it because I think it's a beautiful color. It is kind of a blue-gray base with a lot of blue, kind of like bluey purples. And like there's pink, kind of pinky sections. It's a beautiful color. I love it. I want a whole sweater in it, really. Let me get this all back in the bag without making too much of a mess. Boop. Boop. Now for stash in. Let me sort out my situation. Now for stash in, the way this will go is we will do yarn and then we'll do everything else because yes, there is everything else's. So for yarn, as I said, I got the yarn for my exploration station and started it and got the pattern for it, obviously. And also for Christmas, I got some yarn. Let me set that down. So I got some yarn for Christmas, which is always good. I got Knit Picks Stroll Gradient in Lion Fire, which is really pretty. Might work in a shawl. So I was thinking to myself, like, there's no way this will work in socks because obviously, well, first off, okay, so it is 100 grams, but the problem is, you're to start knitting socks, even if you start in the center. One sock will be primarily the red and the orange, and then in theory, your other sock would be primarily the orange and the yellow. So also thinking of using it as a contrast in a pair of colorwork socks. The theory. But again, the issue is you're going to end up with primarily half of the colors in one and then half of the colors in the other. We shall see. Experiments, right? Wouldn't be bad if it ended up in a shawl. It would probably be beautiful as a shawl. But we will have to see and investigate. And then I have 3 colors of the stroll hand paints, right? Yes, stroll fingering hand paints in Big Top. One is Make Believe, Big Top Make Believe. And then I actually have 2 of these. I already balled one up. It's also in my fiber space bag. I'm not going to dig it out because I put it at the bottom. Good team. But I do have 2 of the gumball color. Ugh, that's all the yarn. To go with the gumball color, gumball hand painted, there is a sock pattern. Quite frankly, personally, I don't know how I feel. I mean, they're pretty socks, but I don't know. Called the Rainbow Wave socks. I don't think I like that there isn't ribbing at the top. Which to me says that it won't necessarily hold up amazingly, but we shall see. That's the reason I have one of those balled up already. So, moving on from yarn, we showed a little pattern. Also got a pair of 9-inch circulars. These are the Chiaogu. I mean, I love Chiaogu needles. Another Christmas present. These are the Chiaogu red lace, size 1, 9-inch circulars. And I have fairly small hands. They are kind of tiny. Not so easy to tell against my hand. Up against a skein of yarn, you can see. They're about they're about the size of one of the stroll hand painted. Or I think in general all of the little, anytime you get a skein of stroll like that. So I try to lose my needles. But yes, I use these to knit these socks. I got like through the leg before deciding I was bored because I was going to try afterthought everything, but then I got bored. 51 rows down the leg, threw in a heel, and decided those were going to be my socks. That worked out fine. I would say that I do need to do pattern because that was, it got to be a slog through like the foot. Not so much on the second sock because by then I had it kind of figured out, but it was definitely a slog to do this. That's why I haven't been working on my other vanilla socks. More needles, because I needed more needles. I got Chiaogu double pointed needles in size 4 for my blanket, so I can become a blanket again. With needles that I know I'll like. Because the thing I love about Chiaogus is I love the tips. I do love the cords, but I love the tips. I don't like any nickel plated because I always end up rubbing the nickel plated off, so stainless steel works perfect for me. I'm excited. Soon we might have more progress on my blanket. That will be nice. I'd love to see it grow some more. And then more Christmas presents. I also got patterns, but they're all digital. Doesn't work so well to show them. I don't edit. I have Knitting Pretty, which is Simple Instructions for 30 Fabulous Projects by Chris Percival. Like, I've not super looked. I believe it's just kind of more simple patterns. In theory, I need to make more simple patterns, right? Like a cell phone cozy. A tube top. There's a snake. I would knit the snake. It calls it a wiggly worm, but it's a snake. It is clearly a snake. well as Easy Afghans, 50 Knitting Crochet Project by Family Circle. This I've looked through. There's one. These look like my squares. One's called Autumn Splendor. It says it's supposed to be leaves, but whatever. Yes, that was the stash in. I think I have a little bit of chit-chatty stuff, but not much because today I go back to school. Well, not like classes start on Monday, but today I'm going back up to school, so I'll be back up in Shepherdstown for a while. So most episodes, if not all, will be up there for a while. Still going to be doing uploads every other week, although I might shift my recording day to Thursday because I have most of the day off on Thursday. I have a class in the afternoon. No big deal. And for the first half of the semester, it's going to be dark by the time I get out of my Friday classes, so unless I record in the middle of the day, we will see. We will see. We will see. Other things, I have another tattoo, but I can't show it because it's on my leg and I've got pants on. But I do have a buddy on my leg. Let's see how this will work. I don't like that picture. Okay, we're going with that picture. Ah, there we go. Oop. I have this guy on my thigh now. He's a little rough looking. This picture is a little bit blurry, but he is a little jackalope mount. Yep. Oh, there's yarn. Yeah, he's a little jackalope mount. It's one single 4-hour session. So he does take up quite a bit of room. He is above my knee and then goes up pretty high up my thigh. Not all the way up, but pretty high up my thigh. And he is definitely on the side, not on the front or the back. I call him Reginald. You will probably see him some more in warmer weathers if I show him off. But yes, that happened. I spent New Year's with Sean. We played Crash Bandicoot because we are adults and that's what we do. We made food. It was delicious. We made Mongolian beef. It's Mongolian beef and spring onions off of all recipes. Like the first one that'll come up. It's pretty good. I think our meat was just a little crispy. No big deal. My Christmas was full of Star Wars goodies. Sean ever so kindly got me a ton of little BB-8s. So this little guy right back here, I mean, I've got a little teapot one. He's right there. You can barely tell, but yeah, he's right there. Checking behind me just to make sure I'm pointing at the right things. But yes, this little BB-8 guy here is like a bank, like a piggy bank. There we go. He also got me a couple of other ones, including a little shirt that's got BB-8 on him. I have a BB-8 Bop It, so I call it BB Bop It. I have another one that's on the bag I carry around a lot of the time. Talks. What else? I got porgs. Goodness, the porgs. Got so many porgs, guys. Got 3 porgs. I called them an improbability. I'm probably going to be knitting or crocheting some porgs soon because porgs. Let's see. What else? What else? I don't know. I don't know what else. I'm taking 3 history classes and a chemistry this semester. It's going to be a lot. Just mentally, it's going to be a lot. Coming down the pipeline, I'm trying to get some stuff planned out with Sean. I'm going to start back up playing Pathfinder again soon, which will be fun. Let's see, what else? What else? I don't think I've gotten much else. Oh, and I'm also planning on knitting the Dark Side mittens. Star Wars mittens. Got Darth Vader on them. I'll Google search as I try to think. Oh, I also got a little Bulbasaur guy who's probably going to sit right there. Good. He's a good boy. Dark Side mittens. Because I do quite like Star Wars. A lot, really. I myself really like the Sith. Not so big on the First Order. We don't want me to talk about that. I've seen the new movie twice. Then you have Solo coming out. And on top of that, I've been playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic a lot. On top of Star Wars The Old Republic as well. I had to reach because I had yarn over there. But I'm planning on making those mittens out of this navy color, which is a Cascade Heritage. I think it's like 220 fingering. Just a non-superwash wool, as well as Knit Picks palette. This is like a cream color. I don't know if it's called white or cream, but it's kind of a creamy natural color. There we go. Just not quite. It's brighter on screen than it does in real life. My internet's taking forever. But yes, it's the Dark Side mittens. On one side, it's got, I think it's like Stormtroopers. On the other side, it's got like, you hold your hands together, it's got Darth Vader. My nails are all peeled off because I used peel off base coats. And it says the force is strong with this one, or something like that. I don't know. But that's what's coming up. That's what's planned. We will see everything that happens. I don't have much else to talk about. I feel like I'm rambling. So I'm going to go. I'm going to get this uploaded, and you will see me again in 2 weeks. Let me check when that is. On the 19th should be the next time that I upload. So until then, have a good start to your 2018. I hope that you had a wonderful holiday season. Hope that your New Year's was good. I hope that things don't explode here in the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to talk too much about that. And, just stay well. Be healthy and happy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.